We all have seen that Donald Trump's public speeches have been full of bravado for his entire campaign. Endless promises, attacks, distortions, lies. But soon it's going to be time to govern. And behind closed doors, it is a completely different story. Trump's own allies, including in red states, red state governors and others in red states, are panicked about Donald Trump's coming term. Now, you might be saying, why would they be panicked? They like Trump. Well, it turns out that running the country with total disregard for what works economically is going to cause major problems. And Trump's economic ideas might sound good. I mean, listen, tariffs on China, I know enough about it to know it doesn't sound good, but maybe to some people they say, oh, we're going to punish China. It's going to sound good. These policies can wreak complete and total havoc. And we are already learning that many companies are already setting up to raise prices to account for Donald Trump's forthcoming tariffs. But there is this rising sense of dread within some of the Trump supporting ranks and red state governors because they are realizing, wow, Trump won. We said stuff and then we won. But now, if Trump carries out many of these policy ideas, there are significant economic risks, especially for governors in their states. We are talking about everything from economic policies that could hurt businesses like the tariffs to tax cuts for the rich that are simply not going to help the economy, but they will all blow up the deficit just like Trump did in that first term. It'll be inflationary. It will not be economically stimulative. And as I said last week, Trump's voters are going to get what they voted for. Trump's tax strategy is, of course, designed to benefit his base. But economists have evaluated it, and they know that it will lead to budget shortfalls that even red states aren't going to be able to ignore. And it makes sense. First, you say what you need to say to get yourself elected. But the governors are people trying to run their states. And a tanking state economy is not going to be a good thing. It's sort of ironic, but now they are going to face the instability that they always said it was Democrats creating, but they're going to face it as a result of Donald Trump winning and getting to do what he wants to do. Now, there's also the legal side, because Trump's approach to law enforcement is going to make these tough on crime, law and order MAGAs a little bit nervous. And I'm, of course, talking about Donald Trump's promises to use loyalist figures to reshape the Department of Justice, which is a move that, according to a lot of insiders, it sounds good for campaigning, but it's making them a little bit scared in terms of the accountability implications. Once you set the precedent of, hey, I might go after this, that, or the other person, it can be turned on anybody. And at the state level, a lot of these Republicans are saying, do we really want that politics of revenge and vengeance that Trump is talking about with law and order? Because when the political winds change, then it could come back on us. Now, I know there are people who are hearing this and they're saying, well, they asked for it. Who cares, right? They wanted Trump in office. They wanted this aggressive authoritarian style. Trump won. Now they're going to get it. They suffer. Okay, who cares? Fine. I'm with you on the political consequences. But there's going to be massive collateral damage here as well. And there are going to be a lot of people at the state level that suffer. And I know it's almost cliche to say, as I said before, I would prefer the country do well. I think it would be a better thing. And when Trump's economic policies, if they become a reality, which with Trump, it's always, here's what I promised, but what am I really going to do? We won't know until he's actually in a position of power. If Trump puts in place these policies and it starts hurting red states, okay, great if it hurts the Republican governor who supported Trump. That I welcome. But the destruction that it will wreak on people who did and didn't vote for Trump in those states, that's not the type of thing that I can get super excited about. So the question is now, where does it leave us here who did not vote for Trump? If even Trump's most dedicated allies are expressing doubts, there might be more fractures in Trump's administration than it seems like on the surface. And if the allies start to step back, or if they say, I'm not propping up this particular policy. I voted Trump, I support Trump, but the tariff policy, it's going to affect my state in this way. I don't like it. You could end up with a second Trump term that could be even more disastrous when it comes to the people that work for Trump abandoning Trump than that first term. You might recall that during Trump's first term, there was significant attrition. And during that time, the people who stayed with Trump would always say, there's always turnover. We're gearing up for a second term, which they never got because Biden won. So we're going to start having some turnover and changing people. The reality is that there was massive abandonment of Trump from within his ranks due to incompetence. That, especially without another Trump term to maybe stay buddy-buddy with him for this time around, could wreak complete and total havoc. And we will be watching it very, very closely. We've got a great bonus show for you today. Democrats, many did better down ballot than Harris, meaning there were people who went to vote, did not vote Harris, did vote for down ballot Democrats. We're going to talk about what that means. We will talk about split ticket voters who voted for defending abortion rights on a ballot referendum and voted Trump. How did that happen? What did they do? And finally, will Trump's hush money conviction stand? The 34 felony counts. A judge will decide. We know he's getting out of the federal cases. Will he get out of this as well? All on the bonus show. Sign up at joinpacman.com. Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, the Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.